Denise, to tell the truth, you are not just a successful in your business. You're my good friend. At the same time, I really admire your spirit. You participate in many community groups. Now you go international. You're trying to do the best you can, helping the people who need this particular support the most. I admire that. And let's talk about the business, your Hollywood business.
Okay.
And with all the bling bling, give me some background or tell our audience, how did you engage with this Hollywood business as a film producer, as a red carpet, host? You have so many titles. People love your style. You're down to earth and with a full energy. I want to know.
Well, it all started when I was a little girl. My dream was to be a television broadcaster, and I worked very hard all the way through high school and college, whether I was the editor of the newspaper, the DJ on the radio station, the editor of the yearbook. I was always into telling a story, and I think I got that from my father. He loves to tell a good story. But most importantly, when I got out of college, I worked at NBC as a producer, and I found that I wanted to be in front of the camera, but I wanted to be telling good stories about good. I didn't want to be chasing ambulances and talking about the negative in the world. So I transitioned out of that into writing as a copywriter, and I spent years as a writer and a journalist. Then I got into the skincare and beauty business and fashion. And then when I started my nonprofit organization, Wings of Love International, that was 7 years ago after some personal challenges I had in my life that really brought to the forefront the domestic violence awareness that I could bring and the support I could give others that were going through difficult, challenging times. I started traveling all over the world talking about domestic violence awareness, and I found that I needed something to help fund my passion of the nonprofit, so I started Dome Entertainment Consulting. And that is an opportunity for me to shine in what I do and to shine the light on others in the publicity, the marketing, and branding, but at the same time have a lot of fun and teach my clients how to talk about themselves in a positive way so that they can create their passion in their business and their dreams. And in doing so, we became very successful at doing that, and now we do both together. And that's what I love most, is having the opportunity, as an example, going to Africa, or I was just recently in Korea with a client, and it was a fashion client, but we had the opportunity to go to the Miss Korea pageant, the 60th annual Miss Korea pageant, and as a former Miss Santa Monica and Miss California, for me it was a dream to be in an environment with all the, beauty queens from a completely different country, and to see what they're doing in other parts of the world, to allow your beauty to give you a platform where you can help others.
You are truly a multitasking individual. And also, I'd like to know, do you have any movie project or TV, anything in the pipeline? I'm just curious.
Because of non-disclosures, but I can say that I'm partnering with a team that I put together. We call ourselves the MovieMoguls, and we're putting together multiple platforms, multiple movies, and financing. And interestingly enough, with your audience, a lot of the funding is coming from China. There are a lot of people that would like to co-produce and learn more about. So I'm working with the top-ranked composers in China, the top-ranked animators, some of the most famous people that I can't mention right now, but I can say that they're very excited about the platform that we've created, where we can bring funds from China and work with Chinese teams, and we have an international, partnership in multiple countries, not just in the US and in China, but in Spain and in Malta and in Vancouver, Canada, a multilingual organization so that we have the best of the best. Locally, we're working right now, I can mention this because we just put the press release out for my client John Woodward's second book, Hidden Valley the Movie, which not only is it slated to be a movie and a saga of 5 books, he just finished the second one, it's going to be also considered now for a TV series. So we're very excited about that. And that's in the horror genre, which is very, it's for the younger kids, the younger kids. Although I hear a lot of people like to watch that. It's not something that I'm too excited about, seeing werewolves kind of eat each other, but it's very popular, so it's something that we're working on as well. And we have a few other movies that are really looking at the very popular Pokemon Go gaming industry. As you know, that's a big thing now, and so we have some movies that have actually already been in the pipeline that we're getting ready to produce in that arena as well. So it's going to be very exciting. The movies are relevant, and they're movies that people want to see, and we're looking at global distribution.
That is a super exciting news. And I just interviewed another good friend of mine, Barry Morrow, Oscar-winning writer and producer. The recent years, the co-production topic is really hot. It doesn't matter U.S., China, or global co-production.
Right.
We're all talking about diversity. We're all talking about a cross-cultural. And so as experienced film producer, it seems like you have a many nice project in the pipeline. And what do you see for this, U.S.-China co-production topic? Is there something real thing that's going to happen in your view?
Well, I was taught by one of my mentors, Mary Kay Ash, that if you have an idea and I have an idea, and you share yours with me and I share mine with you, then we each have two ideas. And this is a philosophy that I've lived with and worked with for over 30 years. And even though I know there's been challenges in the past decades between countries and sharing ideas and all of this, I'm noticing, and we met at the Chinese American Film Festival, where the Chinese are interested in learning more about what we're doing here in Hollywood. And they want to learn the secrets of Hollywood, which is something that we teach at California Safari. But as far as the co-production, I do believe that it's a win-win situation because we're able to give what we can. I know my Movie Mogul team is actually heading to Beijing in September to do a panel to share what we know with others, because if we can teach them how to do it better, teach them how to plan, and in the pre-production, I think is where we're really shining. As we in America, we take a lot of time to plan it out and really plot it out, and there's many reasons for that. And I do believe that when we can teach others how to be a winner, that it's a success for both countries, or like you said, all the countries that are involved.
That's very true. I like you just mentioned two important issues. One, you have idea, I have idea. When we share, that's two ideas. Number two, I think with the global environment, it doesn't matter U.S., China, or global corporation. This is something will happen. I appreciate your analysis. When you look back, you wear many hats. In the future, I think you could be a good ambassador here and to many countries. Certainly, China has the largest market in the world, and there's so many peoples and community and deserve your goodwill visit. Do you have any interest or do you have any goodwill to work with any particular organization in China to bring the same experience or your personal inspiring story with the Chinese audience?
Well, thank you. That's quite a compliment, and I really appreciate that. I would love to go to China and see what I can do to help. I actually have a client there, Chow Young, who's a quite famous artist, and he does beautiful paintings all over the world, and we actually brought him Dome Entertainment to an event in San Francisco at Treasure Island where we combined his beautiful artwork, kind of a big backdrop of a global event called Clean Tech Open, where we produced an event there. So I love working with anybody that wants to work. I'm a hard worker, and I know there are a lot of Chinese community members that are hard workers, whether it's in the philanthropic area and helping with the same topics that I'm passionate about, domestic violence. And I also think that it's really important that we educate women and give them the opportunity to step up as leaders as well. And I know with some of the things that are changing in China, with being able to have more than one child and having a different lifestyle for some of the moms and the family members, that we really want to empower women. I personally, that's my personal opinion, is to allow men and women to have that gender equality. And I'd be very interested to support any films and any co-productions that would help to bring that to light, to have more female directors and producers right here in the U.S., but also in China.
I think with your experience and your energy and also your positive attitude, it will make a huge difference in China. Two things I didn't realize. I've been down so much. I consider you a good friend, everything else. but you're providing a special shelter for women who need, and also have a special trip to Africa for this safari spirit. I really like the California safari things. I think it's going to be a great tool and a platform for the young generation to get engaged, to be a future leader. And if my audience or the whole global audience, they want to get in touch with you or they want to enroll this California Safari, is there a website or contact information you can share with us?
That's the perfect question for my answer. And the answer is that there are two websites. One is CaliforniaSafari.com, so just the word CaliforniaSafari.com. And the other one is, if you're thinking about it, there's lots of choices. You can go to Yale, you can go to Harvard, you can go to Stanford, you can go anywhere in the US, but California is the place where it's happening, and we have a little website called TeenLeadershipTrips.com, T-E-E-N, TeenLeadershipTrips.com, where you can learn why would you want to come to California Safari to learn how to be a global leader, and what extra edge are we going to give you at California Safari that's going to give you the difference that it's worth coming to California to learn about.
Thank you for sharing two important websites. We'll make sure our producer will post on the screen. I think this is a well-needed program right now for young generation. Thank you for putting out so much work, and thanks to your partners. And at the end of the day, now I want to thank you giving me this opportunity, because I consider you are my good friend, former Miss Santa Monica, Miss California. Now you're sharing a lot of personal experience and your future project. I think it's so powerful. Will empower women's, young leaders, and even the normal people like us. I learned a lot. So I want to thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule. And at the end of the day, I like to say thank you and keep going. We want to support you any way we can. At the end of the day, we want to follow your California Safari spirit. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ty. It was an honor to be here.
Please come back after Africa trip.
Yes.
All right.
One more safari.
Okay. Thank you.